What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. We're over here at Mike's shop. We're gonna work on the Big Block Chevrolet for a few minutes, and Mike's working on his out here as well. Let me show you what we got going on. Comment, like, and subscribe. If y'all want to support the channel, head on over to turbojohnracing.com. Grab yourself some hats and t-shirts. We've also got the front wheel giveaway still going on. If y'all want to get entered to win the front wheel off the crashed car, go buy that turbo keychain. Appreciate it, guys. turbojohnracing.com. All right, guys, so here we go. The motor is still looking the same. But if you saw in the thumbnail, we got some progress. We made some progress. So like we were saying, we decided to reuse these pistons. So I got the pistons all trimmed up, knocked the dome off of them some. There's a couple of people who are talking about this piece right here. That's actually an indent from where it was. It looks like spark plug clearance is what it looks like. So we did end up getting some new rods. These are brand new GRP rods. And we got them all hung on the pistons. The rings all seem pretty good. They're all in there nice and tight. There's a couple of scuffs on the pistons, but, you know, minimal stuff, not too bad. I think we're going to be in good shape. However, we did just run into a little bit of a problem. And this is a problem that is self-inflicted. I didn't think anything about it. It's just one of those things. It is what it is. My first time messing with a big block Chevrolet, first time dealing with this scenario. Didn't even know this was an option. If y'all can y'all take a guess at probably what happened? Y'all probably can't. Y'all probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Let me show you real fast. So these are the rods we got. Our buddy Jerry hooked us up, and his buddy Bob Newberry Racing down in Florida. He's the one that actually got our GRP rods, 5500 rods, the Pro Series. This is all the specs, right? So this is the rod type. This is the bore diameter, the actual big end. Now, this is not the actual rod bearing size, but this is the main bore diameter. And so, you know, the pin, you put the rod bearing in it, so it's a little bit smaller. The width of the rod is almost 1 inch, 0.990. It has a 0.990 pin, so that's a big pin. Most small block Chevrolet is a 927. The pin width up there at the top where it goes into piston is 1.20. And then the rod length is 6.385. Everything's good. Everything's hunky-dory. So we got this thing all ready to go. Got our new Clevite bearings. We got H-series bearings. So here's the rod bearings that we got for this thing. CB743HXNDs. And these are the hardened bearings. A little bit of extra clearance. And then they are the Clevites. And then the dowel hole is what that is. So when you have an aluminum rod, it is imperative that you run a dowel hole. They have a dowel on the cap side, and that's what locates it. And these hardened bearings, man, that coating on them, they always look like crap. Once you put a little bit of oil on them to lube them up, they end up looking fine. So this is the bearing for these rods for a normal big block Chevrolet. So let's go back over here to the motor real fast. And we started assembling this thing, and we knocked the piston down in the hole, and we got this ARP 460, 4600 tapered. This is awesome. And you see this one also has the little recess so that you can actually use the O-rings. Leave them in the block, and basically it goes around it. If that was not like that, then you'd have to take the O-rings out. So we put the one piston down in the hole. We got all those things lined up over there. We got all we put the rods on the pistons, shoved it down in there, had a bearing in there, pushed it down on the crankshaft, and we noticed something. So, wait a minute. What's happening? What is happening here? That is the bearing for a big block Chevrolet. So you're like, wait, what's going on? I don't understand what is happening here. So it took me a minute, it took me a few seconds to realize what had happened. So then we grabbed the micrometer over here, and we take the micrometer here, and you go, okay, well, let's see what size this pin is. So big block Chevrolet is supposed to be 2.20, right? So 2.20. Oh, wait, hold on. It's a small block Chevrolet rod. Wow. All right. We got bit in the butt there. We did not realize that. We thought this thing was a regular Callie's Magnum crankshaft with normal big block Chevrolet mains and normal big block Chevrolet rods. But as you do some investigating, it turns out that a lot of people, especially when you start turning high RPMs, when you want these things to go at a higher RPM, they cut these down. Sometimes they'll offset grind it, but that's not what this is. This is not an offset ground, but this was purchased like this, and that's an option when you order a crankshaft, is you get a smaller pin, the Small Block Chevrolet 2.10. Essentially what happens, think about the diameter. When you have the diameter, let's look at this. So this is the bearing that come out of it, and it was in pretty good shape, not bad at all. And you can see that one fits nice and snug. Look at there. Hardly no movement at all. And you're going to have a little bit of clearance, but not much. And then when you think about the diameters, and you can see the bearings, I mean, that bearing will actually snap right down in there. So the Small Block Chevrolet, and we've run stacked bearings in the past, but we're not going to do it on the rod. We done it on the main. Actually, man, look at that. That would have worked perfect. But I don't know if it's a good idea to stack bearings in. I don't know if that's a good idea to stack bearings, period, anyway, but we've had pretty good luck with it in the past. But that shows you the difference. And the reason they do it, what's happening is the larger bearing is going to be going faster than the smaller bearing. So when you have a high RPM motor, when you're trying to make it so it turns some RPM, you reduce bearing speed by going to a smaller bearing. And that's why, like NASCAR, that's why they do it. Now, there's a turning point, though, right? At some point, you shrink it down too much, and then you probably have a problem. So I imagine like a Hemi, it ain't going to have a 210. Probably a big block Chevrolet making 3,500 horsepower, 4,000 horsepower. They would probably prefer to have a 220. But in our case, what we're doing, I mean, it was a nitrous motor before. I think this will be just fine. So now we're selling these rods. So if you know anybody that needs a standard big block Chevrolet rod that has this length, they've been hung on a piston. They are brand new. They have not been used at all, none, other than hanging them on there. And we did, loosen up all the torques. So we were fixing to do final assembly. But so yeah, so y'all check it out. All right, guys, movie magic. All the rods are now off the pistons. Most of these feel pretty good. These that are stuck out here are a little tight. What ends up happening here is when you're messing with these spiral locks, you end up damaging the outside, and then these get kind of hard to push through. Not that big a deal. The biggest thing is it needs to be able to free float when it's in there, in between the spiral locks, and so that's the key. The secret of spiral locks, I'm fixing to tell y'all the secret. There is no secret. You're going to stick yourself. You're going to get mad. You're going to throw stuff. I didn't get mad too bad, and I didn't throw stuff, and I only poked myself a couple times. But
you could use like a seamstress and metal thimbles.
That probably would be a good idea, so that we would stop jamming the stuff in our fingers. But essentially, you just have to take a pick, and you get down in there, and you pick it out. And once you get the edge of it out, then it just peels right out. And there's 2 of these in each side, so that's why there's so many. So we got the rods, these things. There's the part number A0407. And if you look down there, same part number. These things are brand spanking new, guys. Back in the GOP box with the information. If y'all need some rods, hit me up. So, Mike, what are you up to? What are you working on?
We are back to waiting on the Pro Charger.
Wait, what?
Yep, no. We took it out Monday to Pete's and got it set up on the dyno. We made a quick little pull and checking AFR because we were concerned to try to get the right readings out of it.
Right.
We made a pull and we took it up to about 850 horsepower, about 6,000, and everything seemed to be good. He made a few changes in the computer, and on the second pull we hit it a little harder. And about 6,200 RPMs, we were bouncing close to 1,000 horsepower, and
wow.
The Pro Charger ruptured.
The Pro Charger went out, so we're now without a Pro Charger. So, and I'm going to insert the video here. This is what Mike sent me. It's just, it just sounds crunchy. And if y'all remember, I kind of forgot, but Mike did not forget when we were over here and he was putting that thing on. He said, this one spins a lot better. This one feels better. It feels like there's less drag in it. Maybe that's not what it was supposed to feel like. Now, there's, a couple things that could have happened. I mean, clearly it broke before. It was a clean break. I mean, it's possible when they put it back together, there could have been a stress crack. There could have been a fracture. There could have been something that they missed. And I would probably say that's probably what happened. But it is now back at ProCharger. They got it, today, and said it's in the supercharger room.
It's in the supercharger room, because when I called and asked them about it the first time, they said, yeah, the keyways are, whatever is on the in shaft, I'm assuming it's keyway.
Right.
That the keyways ruptured, but the impeller was fine.
Right.
And they were just going to repair it, put it back together, and blah, blah. Well, 2 pulls.
All right.
I called ProCharger while this was still on the dyno, and they're like, well, here's your RMA.
Right. So we'll see what happens. So we'll see probably early next week, Monday or Tuesday, they will have a diagnosis for you as far as what the problem was. Now, hopefully, I mean, you just spent $2,500, $3,000, $2,800 on this thing. Hopefully, they'll say, oops, we forgot to do something. That's what we're hoping.
I can assure you,
or we missed something.
When you insert that little clip, if the video comes out clean enough, the impeller is done.
Right.
It self-clearanced it about 1/4 inch.
Right.
And all that material is now stuck to the volute.
Right.
So luckily it didn't, nothing went up into the intake and down into the motor.
And that's why he pulled all this apart and everything runs. They actually had to pull the turbo and stuff, or the supercharger off of it to get it in the trailer. Yeah. So right now he's just in a holding pattern again for them. I mean, the other blowers over there, the little small blower is still over there sitting. I mean, obviously you don't want to put that back on necessarily.
And the pump that wasn't leaking.
The fuel pump.
I take it over there, it wasn't leaking. I go to open the trailer up to get it out of the trailer, and there's methanol all over the floor. So I put the kit in.
So this is a Waterman. Is this a mini Bertha? Is that what this one is? Or a big? It ain't a big Bertha. Is it a big Bertha?
I think it's the big Bertha is what they say.
It may be.
They don't label them that way.
You said it's like a
15
gallon per minute. So this thing is monstrous. Luckily the rebuild kit. I mean, he done that over here the other day when I was messing with mine. All it is O-rings. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of O-rings and a bearing, and even the bearing stuff seemed like it was in good shape still. So now this is rebuilt, and that one's got a spur pump in it. That's what it was. It's just literally just O-rings, which is, I mean, good. That's easy because the Enderly ones, instead of O-rings, you have like a seal, and I've had to replace those a couple times. The good thing about the ProCharger and the bracketry and all that stuff is it just bolts right over here to the side.
Yeah, this is the accessory drive.
And Randy had one of these on his a long time ago. Flip it over, and there's a belt, and basically this just goes right on, and then the belt just drives that. And like you said, it could be, you could put a water pump, you could put oil pump, alternator,
anything.
whatever you wanted to do. But I mean, he's just got it driving the fuel pump. So Mike's, man, we had some bad luck over here. Last time we were over here the other day, I didn't even film when I was over here. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a bottom end together, and then Mike was like, well, I gotta do this crap. So now we're giving just an update on his stuff and my stuff today.
I can put that one back on it and go racing, but that's not gonna get me what I want.
All right, so we will be racing with Randy's car. We had his on the dyno, so his run really good, make good power, 2,800 horsepower to the tire. That's crazy, that's insane. And so we're going to take his to Darlington this coming Saturday. So if y'all are close by, come see us.
And it may come back out as a turbo.
Possibly. I mean, you know, that, and ProChargers, they make a ton of power, but they're very sensitive. And that's, you know, just the way they're built, I guess. I mean, when you get that heavy impeller and just stuff, I mean, they break. When you look at the fast guys with the F3s that run them a lot, they don't have one ProCharger.
2 or
3 or 5,
yeah.
7. I mean, they got a lot. So, you know, they make good power and they're rebuildable and you can get them, but sometimes I don't know that, you know, with a budget racer, is.
Well, with the setup I've got here, be it that it's still factory K member, factory torsion bars, it'd be a little hard to get a single turbo the way the headers would have to be designed. So I think the easy option would be is to put twins on it, one on either side.
Twins actually would fit in there pretty good right here.
Yep.
Maybe we'll stay ProCharger though. There ain't nothing like a ProCharger doing a burnout through a set of zoomies. Pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right, guys, we done. Comment, like, and subscribe. See y'all later.